From Washington, this is VOA News. New CAR leader warns rival militia their violent holiday is over. Egyptians to vote on an amended constitution. I'm Victor Beattie reporting from Washington. The Central African Republic's new interim president says he's taking steps to restore security in the capital, Bangui. Speaking Monday to military police, Alexandre Nguendet issued a warning to various rebel and militia groups. Their holiday, as he calls it, is over. He called on security forces to shoot to kill those disturbing the public order. In a VOA interview, he said he met Sunday with local militia, which in his words agreed to make peace, and said he's creating a task force with police and security forces to restore order. Mr. Nguendet has been named interim president after rebel leader turned President Michel Djotodia resigned Friday after failing to stem months of chaos and violence. Bangui has been terrorized by weeks of political and ethnic violence that has displaced nearly 500,000 residents. Reporter Nick Long in Bangui says living conditions for most of the country's people are growing desperate.
9/10 of communities are reporting violent incidents, including executions and rapes in the past 3 months. The great majority of communities are reporting that the number of meals people eat every day has dropped from 3 to 1. Everywhere people have lost their livelihoods, and everywhere people are saying they don't have enough seeds for the next planting season. And there's a lack of clean drinking water everywhere. The report also talks about sanitary conditions in some of the displacement camps. It describes them as horrendous, with an average of up to 4,000 people per latrine at some of the biggest camps. So that just gives you an idea of the scale of the challenge that aid workers and indeed everybody faces.
The UN Refugee Agency Monday said the number of people displaced from their homes nationwide has topped 1 million, including nearly 90,000 who fled to neighboring countries. The warring sides in South Sudan's conflict held more peace talks Monday as rebels reported heavy fighting with government forces. Agreement on a proposed ceasefire has been held up by the government's refusal to release political detainees as demanded by the rebels. South Sudan's Foreign Minister Barnaba Mariel Benjamin told VOA officials will expedite legal processes against detainees accused of plotting to overthrow the government. He says the government is committed to peace.
South Sudan is committed to peace. It's committed to resolving this issue peacefully. This is an elected democratic government by the people of South Sudan. If there are any issues related, like what the former vice president has done with his colleagues, that we would like them also to commit to being realistic, that to become the president for the Republic of South Sudan, it is through popular, free and fair elections. So yes, we are committed, I can assure you. That's why we have a very strong team in Addis Ababa, which is not only composed of the SPLM as the ruling party. We have also included all the other political parties in South Sudan to make it a national team.
The United Nations says more than 200,000 South Sudanese have been displaced from their homes since fighting began a month ago. Army forces loyal to President Salva Kiir are battling soldiers who back former Vice President Riek Machar, who Mr. Kiir fired in July. Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan has signed into law a measure that bans same-sex marriage and membership in homosexual organizations. Offenders could face up to 10 years in prison. The new law has drawn protest from U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Marie Harf is a U.S. spokesperson.
We just don't support any legislation that institutionalizes discrimination against one select group of people. And I think one of the key reasons we're opposed to this is that the law goes far beyond prohibiting same-sex marriage. It restricts freedom of assembly, association, and expression for all Nigerians. It's inconsistent with Nigeria's international legal obligations and undermines the democratic reforms and human rights protections enshrined in Nigeria's constitution. So obviously we'll keep raising these issues when they come up. We've made our position on this very clear.
Last month, Uganda's parliament passed a bill that would make some homosexual acts punishable by life in prison. Egyptians go to the polls over the next 2 days to vote on a constitution written by the military-backed interim government. The vote widely viewed as a referendum on a likely presidential run by the country's top general. In July, Army Chief Abdel Fattah el-Sisi deposed Mohamed Morsi, Egypt's first freely elected head of state. The referendum will be the sixth nationwide vote since the 2011 ouster of longtime ruler Hosni Mubarak. I'm Victor Beattie, VOA News. More can be found on the internet at voanews.com.